So today, Chanel, the D90 by Helderburg, and I will tell you I am so excited, but I'm excited about every one we build. So the client, she lives in California, and she said, Paul, I want something that's different. We started talking about exterior colors and salmon metallic colors. And then she just said, all right, I want you to start picking some things for me. I said, beautiful, I would love to do that for you. And so I chose this color, and this color in the sun is marvelous. It's beautiful. It's a bronze color. It is not, it's a custom mix color, so it's not a Land Rover color, but it's a bronze goldish metallic. And in the sun, stunning. In the evening, it gets a little darker, but just, it's beautiful. So the exterior was really inspired by the Coco Chanel bag with the gold chain and the gold hardware. And that's what I was really trying to pick up. And Stephanie went on to say, well, I want something rugged. I don't want it to be girly. I want it to be elegant. I want it to be beautiful. I want it to have a stance. And I'm like, well, that's not a problem because we're definitely known for the stance. I hear that a lot on social media, that everybody loves the stance. So we recreated the stance, about 2.5 inches of a lift. Proper radius arms. The transmission also, well, I'll get into that. Just hold on, keep on watching the video and you'll see. But proper radius arms on it, correct prop shafts. It is a turbo diesel and it has the performance tune that's exclusive from Helderburg, which means a custom cylinder head, custom injection pump, custom intercooler, custom 3-inch stainless steel exhaust all the way through. So it does have a good sound to it too. But it is the turbo diesel, which means that you get great fuel mileage. And it's not that we're necessarily trying to conserve fuel, but yes, I am. But it means less stops at the gas station to fill it up. So you've got a really nice range on this one, and average around 30 to 32 miles per gallon, depending on how you drive it. But the real magic, well, yeah, the paint is magical too, with the wide arches and the roll cage here and the tinted windows. But the real magic, in my opinion, happens on the interior. And when you see it, you'll understand my reference with the Chanel handbag. But moving along, billet aluminum door handles, billet aluminum hinges, billet aluminum mirror arms. Even the windshield washer sprayer is custom made billet aluminum. The glass, as you would expect from a Helderburg, is a thicker glass, so that helps in the sound deadening, but it also helps in the heating and the cooling, keeping the cabin very comfortable. And then moving down, what else do you notice here? So it does have the beadlock style wheels, and it has a mud tire on it, but I will tell you that these tires, these are the Cooper STT Pro, they do well on the road. They don't make a lot of noise. It's really a great thing about the STT Pros, that they're not a very noisy tire, but they still give you that rugged appeal. So D90, it's fun. It's fun to drive. You can park it easily. So it works perfectly for the client in California, since where she's at's a little congested and she lives on the ocean. But I'm kind of just speechless because I really want to get into the interior and talk about the interior. But I think the outside says rugged and iconic. We did not lose that classic Land Rover design. I mean, we beefed it up a little bit, but the interior is where it's going to get really magical. And before we go into the interior, I want to point out one other thing that's exclusive to Helderburg, and that is the vents on the bonnet. They serve no purpose. They're purely a design cue, and it's a design cue from back in the day with Maserati and Bentley and Bugatti, and I mean, the list goes on. But that's purely a design cue, and I think it helps make it just a little more rugged. So now, let's move into the interior. Let's talk about that, because this is where I spent a lot of time in the design process. The exterior color was simple. I knew that she would love this color because it's unique, it's different. You won't see it on another vehicle on the road. And then the interior is where I really took it up a notch. So one of the directives she gave me, she said, I want the interior to be light. I want it to feel fresh and light and open. And so that was very easy, that I decided to go with kind of a creamy winter white on a lot of the interior, but of course, to keep that rugged feel and to pull more of that Coco Chanel feel into it, that's where I pulled the black. But as you look at the interior here, it is definitely bright. So Italian Alcantara headliner, which is nice and bright, that matches the leather here. And then on the dash, I kept it all that off-white, that creamy white, except for the very top, I did the black strip. Reason for that is to cut down reflection in the windscreen, but I wanted to keep everything bright on it. The diamond stitch, if you look at the detail of a diamond stitch on the Helderburg, the stitching is perfect. It's just absolutely perfect, and the only way you can get this is by doing it by hand. So the billet hardware, I just love the billet hardware we use, the billet aluminum, so we have it on the door handles, the door locks, the pegs, all around the gauges, even the switches, the turn signal, the headlight switches, all billet aluminum. It has that feeling of jewelry, and that's why I do it, because I'm passionate. I love Bentleys and I love Paganis and I love what they do in the interior, and that's kind of a recreation of the luxury when it goes into a Helderburg. Is that kind of that pop of that jewelry feel is what it is. This one does have the high fidelity audio system, which is the 11-inch. It's an iPad size, so it's an 11-inch touchscreen up high. Amplifiers under the passenger seat. It has multiple speakers from Focal, which is made in France. It has a lot of sound deadening. Every square inch of a Helderburg is sound deadened. So the bulkhead, the flooring, the roof, the doors, and again, I'll mention the glass. The glass is thicker than your standard Land Rover glass that's off the shelf, and that helps in the heating, the cooling, but also the sound deadening, so the audio system sounds very nice. But here's the thing. This one, and I get a lot of people that ask me, do you do automatic transmissions? And the answer is yes, but I will warn you that I will try to convince you to do that manual transmission because it's a driver's vehicle, and the manual transmission is just fun to drive and easy to learn how to drive too. But this one, she had a point, is an automatic transmission, because she said, well, when I park at valet, a lot of the valet guys cannot drive a manual transmission. I tried to justify it and said, well, look at it this way. It's going to be the world's best security system for you then, so maybe we should keep the manual. And she said, no, I just don't want to deal with that. And I'm like, no problem. So yes, we do offer automatic transmissions. The only thing is the chances of theft will go up. And by the way, I'm only joking. I've never had a client have a Land Rover stolen. But it does have an automatic transmission. It does have, it just has so much. It's beautiful, it's luxurious, and it's perfect. If you want to take a trip to Moab and do some off-roading and play around, and I'll tell you, Moab, you won't cause any damage unless you roll the vehicle, of course, because it's nice wide roads, but it's suited. It's suited to be able to do off-roading, do the canyons, do the beach, and then it's suited to go to the five-star hotel or go to the opera. It's perfect all-around vehicle. And the rear, we also did the mahogany flooring, so it just brings it all together. So it's luxurious, it's rugged, and it definitely, in my opinion, has that Coco Chanel feel. And I know I've mentioned that a lot of times now, but there's just something magical when you do a light colored interior, because it allows you to really see the textures, and it brightens up the cabin. I think I have too many years. I spent cars that had dark interiors, black interiors and all that, and now my whole new vibe is light colored interiors. So this is Chanel, the D90 from Helderburg, and it's headed to California in just a few minutes, and I can assure you the weather's probably going to be a lot better there than it is here.